Just imagine. Even today, you will notice that if you give anybody black and white TV now, he won't say thank you, because you have given him refuse to be refused. But in those days, it was a privilege to have a black and white television. Only the rich in our area, about 3 of them, where I grew up, could afford that black and white TV. And some of them, when we want to come into their sitting room, they will ask us to go and wash our legs first before we sit on the floor. To do what? To watch black and white television. Black and white television was a very special facility, special instrument that you can find in homes. And it was a big delight to have it. Now, but those old TV sets came in black and white because they don't have what we call pixels that brings picture in high definition, high resolution. If you look, even this meeting now, if this camera is capturing, if you are watching it on black and white TV, another one is watching it on a 3D television set. 2 people will be watching the same program, but one will be showing it in fragmentary fashion, and the other one will be bringing it in full version. Am I making sense to you? Yes, sir. Even in the media work that we do, I used to use this tie clip, small microphone. But we felt that even the microphone that we are using is not the professional one, because the quality of the sound is given to us is not what we need. It's not what we need. They have decided to go and get a boom microphone, a condenser microphone, so that even if you are speaking at the back there, it will pick your voice and it will be very clear and sharp. Now, even though the old one brought my voice, yet it is not the richness of the voice. You will not touch reality in what is bringing. It's just struggling to capture my voice. Am I making sense to you at all? There are microphones that is just 2,500. You can even get wireless microphone that is just 25,000. And yet there are microphones that is as costly as 5 million naira, just one. And you say, kilo wambe? Eh? But you will find out that the quality of what he produces, when you see it, you will never desire the lower version anymore. Am I making sense? In those days, when GSM came, you have this phone with horns. Do you remember? Now, we were happy to have them. It was a great delight. You even flaunt it. You even make younger with it. If you took picture with those phones, if you see it now, you'll be laughing. Am I making sense? You will laugh at yourself. But at that time, that was the best we could have. I remember that when I was given approval to get telephone in my house, that was 1988. As soon as I got married in October, November, they transferred me out of Ibadan to Akure. And it was just important for myself and my wife to have telephone. There's a telephone in my office in Akure, but I didn't have telephone at home. And we just got married 1 month after our wedding. That was a big blow on us. And so we have to apply for a telephone line. And when it was approved, do you know how much I was asked to go and pay? 815 naira. Just to this telephone in my house. I have to go and take loan because my salary cannot handle it. And what is the follow? It was a big box like this, like a coffee, that they have to bring into my house, and then you put your finger in it like this. If you turn it, rotary phone, you put it like this, you turn it. That's phone. If you see it now, you'll be laughing. You say, what do I do with this one? I remember my uncle, the day they came to install rediffusion. In those days, I don't know whether any of you met rediffusion. You don't meet rediffusion. Ah, oh God, it's a radio. But they will come and install it at the corner of your room like this. There is a cable that passes through the streets, just like NEPA. So they will now connect it, and then you only switch it. Once you switch it, you start talking. There is no, you can't tune station. It's a box with a speaker. That's all. They call it rediffusion. WNTV, WNBS. The day they installed the one in my uncle's house, if you see dance, you are dancing, because I have radio in my house now. How they use it? Even in the, what will I do? Except in the car. You don't. It doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make sense. Now, it was not the fault of the rediffusion that you can't tune stations. It's not the fault. And it is not as though there is no radio at that point that, stations across. The challenge of that rediffusion was that the capacity is limited to what it was doing. It was not wickedness for black and white television to project images in black and white. The problem of that set is the capacity. It doesn't have the capacity to report to you in color. The capacity in that TV set is to bring picture in black and white. We'll just give it summary. All the colors we have here. When he looks at the color of Brown Mike said, black. You can look at this one and say, let me put this one as white. He decides, because he would try to report as truthfully as it could, but we know that the truth with which it has reported is not the whole truth. Am I making sense to you? When color TV, in those days, when color TV started to come, some people, I have a brother who could not afford color TV, but he also want to appear to have color TV. There is this screen. You just use it, and then it comes out in a color. It's a trouble. You even deceive yourself more. Am I making sense? Now, I want you to know that these are, if you call it metamorphosis, as people improve in their knowledge, they began to see that we are not getting the best in our reportage. These footages that we put on air is not bringing a near live experience. Even in the family of color TV, in the family of flat screen, they also have grades. Am I correct? Yes, you will watch one. When you see another one, you will feel like throwing the one you have in your house away, because when you see color resolution, when you see images, it will look as if you should just speak it. Near life experience. And it is the capacity that is built into that. Even if you find a small whitish dot on a grass in a football match, that camera will pick it and your TV shows, and it makes you to appreciate it. When you are watching drama and then they stab somebody in black and white and blood comes out, you will not, it will scare you. Because the thing will just look like just black. But when you see it in its reddish color, it brings sense to you. Even though in black and white you know this is blood, but it is not striking, because it's not bringing it in its real life experience. And that's the trouble. So the patriarchs that lived before us, through whom the Lord revealed the seed unto their generation, they were all black and white TV sets. They tried to show who God is to their generation, but they lack capacity to project him in that full experience that God would have loved to. They did it according to the capacity they had. Nobody can blame them. They did their best to reveal God to their generation, and they recorded it. Possibly maybe it could help generations coming after them. But when Jesus came, we noticed that there's a difference between black and white and 3D television sets. Am I making sense to you? Can we read further now? Yes.
What the old cameras brought to us in black and white and made very uninteresting, the new digital cameras and television sets have made clearer, brighter, sharper, and colorful. Thus, the problem is not with the images, but with the instruments used in recording and transmitting images.
Thank you very much. Yes, brother.
For instance, when Elijah called fire to before the two sets of 2 soldiers in 2 Kings 51, verse 9 to 12, one would think that Elijah would reflect the totality of God's nature and character. But it was a different kettle of fish. When James and John yoked themselves with Elijah and decided to showcase God by what Elijah transmitted, the Bible says,
yes.
Okay. And when his disciples James and John saw this, he said, Lord, if thou wilt command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elijah, who revealed the word,
God's nature, Christ, the Son of the living God, and God did. Do you understand the way that thing is put? Can we call fire as Elijah did? Now, what they meant is, as Elijah reflected God for us to see. As Elijah reflected the word of God for us to see. That soldier said, man of God, you are under arrest. Come down quickly. Elijah said, so you even know I'm a man of God. If I be a man of God, let fire come from heaven and consume you and your 50. And you know, in one fell swoop, 51 breadwinners were wasted. And to Elijah, he had showcased who God is, because he was a representative of God on earth. He was the one to show us how God behaves. He came to show to us what is the nature of God. He came to show to us who Christ is. So these brothers said, look, we have example of Elijah. Can we also call fire as Elijah, the man saddled with the responsibility to showcase God, to reveal God's nature, to reveal God's word, to reveal the Son of the living God, to reveal God, to reveal Christ as he did? Can we also do it? Now hear what the Lord said. But he, who is that he now? Christ, yes, the word, God's nature, Christ, the Son of the living God, God, turned. Yes, sir. Yes.
Ye know not what manner of spirit the word, God's nature, Christ, the Son of the living God, God, ye have of.
Ye know not. don't know the manner. You don't understand the manner. When I read that, I felt Christ meant Elijah did not know the manner of the spirit he was made of. And it is not his fault. He lacked capacity to know it. I'm not blaming Elijah. I hope you understand. I'm not coming here to disparage that servant of God. No. This is for our learning. This is for us to understand what the Word of God is saying to us. That even though Elijah brought an example unto them, but Jesus said, you don't understand it. You are of different species. What spirit you carry. If suddenly you tune your TV, you know it's possible for your child to have removed the colors from your plasma. You know you can, and it can turn it to black and white. And then you tune it, and then it brings you black and white. I'm sure you will be wondering what has happened. Yeah, that you know no manner of the spirit that you are made of. What happened to you that you are showing me black and white? I'm sure you will not sit down. You will want to check, is there anything wrong with the settings? Now the settings that James and John used was a setting of Elijah. But Jesus said, sorry, you are not black and white like those ones. You know it is possible for an eagle to behave like a vulture. So you know. It's possible. It is possible for an eagle to start soaring in the sky and be picking dead and decomposed item all over the place. And it's living like a vulture. And actually in their structure, they look alike. And you will have mistaken an eagle for a vulture. It's possible. The only problem is that it is not possible for a vulture to imitate an eagle. But an eagle could imitate a vulture. That has rattled me for years. That it is possible for a child of God to behave like a child of the devil. And I don't know why. The child of the devil is not afraid that a child of God can contaminate. But a child of God can be contaminated by the child of the devil. I don't know why. I don't know why it is like that. It brings fear into my heart every time. If a child of the devil comes into the church, he's not worried. But a child of God, if you go to where they are worshiping idols, may God help you to come out free of charge. You could be contaminated. And so, I saw that even though these men were eagles, as it were, but they used the setting of a vulture. And Jesus had to quickly interrupt them and say, you know not manner of spirit which ye are made of. Brother, can you read on for us now?
For the Son of Man,
the Word, God's nature, Christ, the Son of the living God, is not come to destroy men's life, but to save them. Thank you very much. Now, this is simply an illustration for our consideration. Up to today, we still see that spirit of Elijah walking among us. Am I correct? Yes. Up to today, we still pray the prayer of Elijah. Up to today, we still carry the thought of Elijah in our mind because we think it was representative of God. But no. we cannot say Elijah is not a man of God. He was. And I still respect him as a servant of God. If God helps us to touch and to go beyond where Elijah stopped, it will be so great for us. Am I correct? Those men brought revival to their nations in their time. We cannot rubbish their records. But it is also very clear that they need something. You know, as I studied the discipleship of Elisha under Elijah, I realized that when Elisha also started, it was the pattern of Elijah that he took. As he was just coming out of Jericho fresh, and he was going to Bethel, these children started to mock it. Bald-headed man, go up, and they were singing after him. The Bible says he turned and he cursed them in the name of the Lord. And 2 she-bears came out of the wood and tore 42 of them. I don't know the number of those children. Mothers, 42, were made childless just in one day. But you know that I don't know what happened to Elisha, but I believe something must have happened to him. When the Syrian king, and I suspect it must be Ben-Hadad, because Ben-Hadad was still reigning at that time, commanded that, excuse me, they should go and arrest him. Do you remember? Yeah. That when they came to Dothan, where Elisha was, Elijah said, Lord, strike them with blindness. And God answered his prayer. And you will think that now that they were blind, Elisha was going to kill them as he killed the 42 children. But no, he led them into Samaria. And he asked that the Lord should open their eyes. And they saw that they were in the midst of Samaria. Now, the challenge was that the king of Israel said, shall I smite them with sword? Elisha said, your sword arrested them. I beg, make them sit down, let them eat. And they ate, and they gave them gifts. The Bible said the Syrian did not return to Israel again. Now, what amused me so much was that I don't know how many months later or how many years later, Elisha went to Syria, and I'm not sure he was invited there. The king of Syria heard that Elisha was in town. He sent gifts to him. So I asked myself, as he was walking freely in Syria, in a foreign land, in the land of the enemy, will he be able to walk freely in Bethel, where he killed 42 children, that way? It's just a challenge. Will anybody have thought that the Syrian or the Syrian king will seek after the Lord at any time? When he was an enemy of Israel, seeking to kill the people of Israel, he was seeking to arrest Elisha himself. Will anybody have thought that he will become friendly with Elisha? Didn't Elisha had right to ask those soldiers to be killed? And I'm too sure that the man who led those soldiers must be Naaman, because he was the only one who knew Elisha among the soldiers in Syria. He was the one, I'm thinking, who told the king of Syria that there was a man of God in Israel. If you speak in your room like this, he will hear. He will know. He must be the one who led them to come and arrest Elisha. And don't forget that he was a leper before. It was by the grace of God upon Elisha that his leprosy was cleansed. Should he be an ingrate? And if he will be an ingrate, should he be towards Elisha? Shouldn't Elisha ask him to die? But he had been a changed man. I wonder, I wish he didn't also cause Gehazi too. I wish he didn't make Gehazi and his generation lepers, because there was opportunity for Gehazi to repent. I hope you know there was a time he was sharing testimony of Elisha's exploits in the palace with the king. And so why will you kill that enemy today? He may be a pastor tomorrow. He may be the governor that will turn Lagos around tomorrow. Why do you want to kill him now? He said, can we go and remove these stars now? Jesus said, leave them. Let them grow together. Lest in the bid of removing stars, you remove weeds. I look at that and I felt they could recognize the stars and they could recognize the weeds. They would neatly remove the stars. But you know what the Lord said to me? Yes, they may neatly remove the stars, but that tar will become weeds tomorrow. You were also a tar before. If you have been plucked off and thrown into the fire, you will have destroyed a potential wheat. Today it may be a tar, tomorrow it can become wheat. Make the tree good, and the fruit thereof shall be good. So I see that the problem with these men of old was not because they wanted to deceive us. It was not because they wanted to shortchange us. It was because they lack capacity to project God in full resolution. That's the problem. Can we go on now?
Jesus revealed.
No, see, this sister should read now. Yes.
Jesus revealed that James and John reasoned the way they did, because they knew not the manner of spirits they were made of. It was this same lack of true and complete knowledge of the Spirit on the part of Elijah that made him to have fragments of God, and thus he could not truly or totally reveal God to our fathers.
It was just that same lack of true and complete knowledge of God that robbed Elijah of the capacity to reveal God in his completeness to our forefathers. Yes, we should travel to our brother there.
The problem was not with God, but with the prophets and the patriarchs, who did not have enough detail that would bring the high resolution picture elements of God out for the people to see. For the people to see God in his true color. The glimpse of truth by the old patriarchs limited the seed in bruising the head of the serpent. Instead, the head of the serpent was only brushed, not bruised.
The glimpses. Have you ever been preaching to somebody, and as you are preaching, he looks at you like this, and he said, okay, as you are telling me now, you are saying that I should not have girlfriends, I should not have many wives. What about Solomon? How many wives did Solomon have? I want you to answer that question first before you continue. Will you lie? He said no. He said he has 700 wives and 300 concubines. He said, you see, I have not even had 10. Why are you saying I should change? Alright, if you say Solomon is like that, what about David? The man after God's heart. Now, and actually, I don't know whether you have encountered such problem before. I've encountered it many times. And sometimes you wonder, I wish that kind of record is not in the Bible. That's the trouble of the black and white TV. In the bid of presenting God within the capacity built in them, they successfully misrepresented God. So instead of bruising the head of the serpent, what did they do? They just brushed it. They make it to shine better. And it's still the problem till today. When a man has not caught the complete truth of God, his life will not be able to bruise the head of the serpent. Even the serpent that operates in his life will only be brushed. His head will not be bruised. Even the serpent that operates in your office, the one that operates in the neighborhood, you will not be able to take it on. You will not be able to handle it effectively when the complete truth has not been planted in your spirit. And this is a matter for us to look at. Yes, let's go ahead. The next person to read for us now.
This black and white television set. This black and white television set.
Right.
Patriarchs and prophets of old. Earth's way until God found a man with immeasurable number of pixels. A man who carried the capacity to capture the totality of God and show him to us. The way he is, the Bible says, no man had seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he had declared him.
Now, will you ever believe that testimony that no man had seen God at any time? Eh? Do you think that testimony is correct? Just be sincere with me. Are you afraid to say the Bible is lying? Eh? It's correct. Why are you saying so? What about Moses? He saw a glimpse. Eh? It's not even God he saw. What did he see? You wanted to see something, brother? He saw the back of God. Now, will you have seen the back of a man that you are seeing for the first time and you claim to have seen him? A man you saw his backside, can you describe him? No man had seen God at any time. No man. Just as no man has ascended to heaven, except the one that came from heaven. So I asked myself, where did Elijah go? Questions. And I've been waiting that when we get to heaven, we should have time for question and answer, so that some troubles in my mind, I could clear them. But I don't know whether we'll just know everything when we get there. Eh? Maybe we just know everything. When he said, no man has ascended to heaven, I said, but Elijah. Eh? Even Enoch said they have not ascended. When Jesus came and said, now, what do you give us? Show us something now. Moses gave us bread from heaven. And Jesus Christ said, Moses did not give you bread from heaven. I said, where did he get his bread? He said, I am the bread that comes from heaven. Wow. The Bible is such a very beautiful book to behold. I want you to know that no man has seen God at any time. Let that register in your spirit. The only begotten Son, who came from the bosom of the Father, had declared him. Yes, sister.
No one has ever actually seen God. But of course, his only Son has, for he is the companion of the Father, and has told us all about him.
Excuse me, what is the meaning of no one has ever actually seen God? This Living Bible now. Eh?
Not seen him
not seen him totally, just a bit. No one has ever actually. Some shadow.
Actually, they've not really seen the real person.
Actually, there is abstractly, there is actually. In the real sense, they haven't seen God. Only a kulori. Oh, tí ìrègùn. Ìyẹ́lórí ìwò ìrẹ́yẹ. Have you heard that before? Eh? You have heard it, but you have not heard the second one. But you have heard it now. The yellow will let and actually when you pick some bird and you remove the feathers, they look so tiny. They look so tiny. I want you to please register it in your heart as you read about great men of old, and as you read about their exploits, let it be a screen with which you read about them that they did not actually see God. So if you rush to follow them blindly, you might end up somewhere else. I don't know whether you understand me. One day Paul met some disciples at Ephesus. He had been watching them for some time. One day he couldn't hold it anymore and said, Ewa, have you been baptized since you believed? They said, yes, we baptized now. All right. Have you received the Holy Ghost since you believed? They said, that one. Is there anything called Holy Ghost? Where is his address? Then Paul said, but you said you were baptized. So, unto what then were you baptized? Towards what? What is the intention behind your baptism? They said, John the Baptist. No wonder. They were cousins. John the Baptist were cousins of Jesus, but it was not Jesus. The best you will become in life is John the Baptist. You will never become Jesus because your baptism was towards John. It's a road that led to who, please? To John. So he now baptized them in the name of Jesus, towards Jesus. So please note it. Anywhere you are reading, and you are reading about a man before Jesus, know that he has never actually seen God. Yes, sister.
No man has ever seen God at any time.
Yes.
Only the unique Son.
Only the unique Son.
Or the only begotten God.
Abikaku wípé the only begotten God. Yes.
Who is in the bosom.
Who is in the bosom.
In the intimate presence of
in the intimate presence, as though there is a difference between presence and intimate presence. In the intimate presence, yes, my sister, of the Father,
He has declared him.
He has declared him.
He has revealed him.
Number one, what is the meaning of to declare? He has revealed him. What is the meaning of reveal? He unveiled him. He exposed him the way God is. God has been behind the veil for centuries. He has revealed him. Yes, my sister?
And brought him out where he can be seen.
So where was God before? He was hiding somewhere. What did Jesus do to God? He brought him out to where he can be seen. Ó kó Ọlọ́run síta bí ọmọ ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ. Does it make sense? There is a place where those men went to seek God, but unfortunately it was a place where God cannot be seen. But Jesus, you know, you can stay here now and you can watch what is going on in CNN. Am I correct? You just attach your flat screen to the wall and then you connect cable and then operate. You'll be seeing it as it's happening there, where you can see it. Jesus was the 3D television set that God brought to us, and he brought God out to where every one of us could see God as he is, clearly, without any ambiguity. Yes, my sister.
He interpreted in Greek.
What did Jesus do to God? Eh? You know, translation and interpretation, they are two different things. Eh? When I met with interpreter and we were in a training, I tell them that interpretation is different from translation. Joseph told the baker and the butler when they were worried about their dreams that interpretation belongs to God. It's not to education. It's not to knowledge. Interpretation belongs to God. When you are translating, as an interpreter, for instance, now, when you are translating and you are not interpreting. If I say I went to Lagos yesterday, the translator will say, "One year I want to see Kulana." That's a translator. But if an interpreter is going to speak, he will say, "Mo lọ sí Kulana." That's an interpreter. Am I making sense? Now, when the preacher jumps up, the interpreter does not stand there and just interprets what he said alone. He also jumps the way the preacher has jumped. If the preacher shouts, what will the interpreter do? Now, he is not a reporter. He is also a minister. I said, even though the man of God may be higher than you, but at that moment, you are equal. You are speaking as though directly from the throne of grace. As is also, the only language is different. You must understand that when he prays for people, when he says a word of prayer, and it is expected that that prayer should be performed in the life of those who are listening to him in English, you should also understand that you carry the same capacity to speak that same word to those who are hearing in the Yoruba language, and that thing is performed in their lives too. That's an interpreter. An interpreter is not reporting. He is actually declaring. So when Jesus came, he was not speaking Afawa wipe, Afawa wipe, Afawa wipe. No. He was speaking. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." He said, "The Son of God is come that you may have life and you may have it abundantly." He said, "I am the light of the world. He that followeth after me shall not walk in darkness." Martha said, "I know my brother will rise at the last day." He said, "I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though dead, shall live." Now, you see, that's not a reporter. That's not a reporter. That's not a man who was guessing. That's a person who came from the intimate presence of the Father. That's a person who knew the Father inside out, and he brought him out to us where he could be seen. Sister, you are still reading for us.
And he has made him known.
So, before Jesus came, how was God? You can sit down. Have we not finished that place now? If there is still one, your work is still far. So, what do you think about God before Jesus came? He was unknown. Even though Moses said, "Thus saith the Lord," God will just shake his head and say, and I'm still unknown. When Moses came up and said, "If these people die as ordinary men, God has not sent me." And then ground caved. And then they went down alive. Said, "This is is still on." God will say, these people they have not known me yet. This is still not me. And people think that I'm looking for the next man to kill now. When God was going to correct, up till Moses killed all those people, murmuring continued. He didn't stop. When God was going to stop the murmuring, do you see what he did? He asked that he should bring dead rods. Write the name of each tribe of the rod, present it in my presence. So tomorrow, come and check. When they came, they saw that the rod of Aaron budded. And everybody withdrew his rod, and the argument stopped. So it's an argument that can only be stopped by life and not by killing people. Sister.
God, who at sundry times.
Who at sundry times.
And in diverse manners.
Yes.
Spake in time past.
Yes.
Unto the fathers by the prophet.
Yes.
As in these last days.
As in these last days.
Spoken unto us by His Son.
Spoken unto us by His Son. Excuse me. About to speak unto us. He has spoken. What is the meaning of that? What's the implication of that? Yes, brother. Everything God wanted to say or want to say is inside His Son. Okay? Let me take more. He has spoken unto us by His Son. Talk to me now.
He has corrected all the problems that the patriarchs brought through Jesus. He has revealed himself in totality.
He has corrected all the problems, all the errors, all the wrongs of the patriarchs through Jesus, and because he has revealed himself in totality through him. All right? So, is God still speaking? He's still speaking. Will God still speak? You are not too sure of how to answer that question. He will still speak. So what then is the meaning He has spoken?
So whatever you will be telling us, whatever He's telling us now, or He will still be speaking, will never contradict what He has spoken through His Son.
Perfect. Jesus is the complete message of God. So if any man speaks today, if any man preaches today, if any man sings today, and it is not taken from Christ, that person is an error. Because there is nothing new to say. Everything He wanted to say, He has declared it in the word, in the life, in the death, in the resurrection resurrection of Jesus. The complete message of God to humanity is in him. He looked at the Jews when he said, but you search the scriptures now, because you think that in those scriptures you have life. So you don't know that those are the scriptures that they are speaking of me. Everything there points to me. So instead of looking elsewhere, look at me. You will get everything you are looking for. And you know, I have found Jesus to be a dictionary. Every word you are looking for, you will find its interpretation in him. Sister.
Who he has appointed heir of all things.
Right?
By whom also he made the world.
He had appointed him heirs of all things. In a family, when the father appoints the heir, what happens to other children? I don't know whether I framed that question well. What are the other children expected to do? Maybe I should put it that way. They take their share from the heir. Alright? That's one. What other things are they expected to do? Having appointed the heir. They depend on the heir. They are subject to him. Are you saying something? They serve him. They listen to him. In fact, the father may be alive. Oh, when they have issues, the father will say, go and meet him. And I'll beg money.
And sometimes the father will even say whatever he says.
That's what it means. Say, whatever your brother says, he said, say something. He said, no, go and meet him. Go and meet him. In fact, sometimes the father will not be able to take decision without that heir. He said, I'm thinking, and then it's all right. We can do that. We can do that. It's all right. He said, look, anything you want, it is your heir. It is the heir. Anything. Okay, tell him to speak to me. God has appointed Jesus heir of all things. I mean all things. Riches, power, authority, wealth, whatever you can think about, there is only one heir who has the final say over it. And that's Christ, the Lord. Praise the Lord. Alright, so we read the next person now. Who is next? We'll come to the extreme here now. Brother.
The incomplete revelation of God that prolonged the reign of the devil came to a halt when Christ, the seed, was revealed. All the errors of the patriarchs and the prophets of old were all corrected in Jesus. The message of God did not only come to us clearly and freely, it also came very clear to the devil that his time was up.
The message of God did not only come to us truly and clearly, it also came to the devil that his time was up. The errors, quote and unquote, that the patriarchs of old committed was corrected in who, please? In Christ Jesus.